Southern and Molyneux have got their visas. Hello everyone, welcome to this update for Heise Says. This is a follow-on to the video released yesterday about Lauren Southern being denied a visa to get into Australia. As you can see, they now have received their visas. So both Southern and Molyneux have been granted the subclass 408 visa. Now this is the original visa they applied for. Now, if you remember, they applied for this, and I read somewhere, I think 10 weeks ago, or they were 10 weeks, so 70 days. Remember that. We'll write that here, just 70. Ugh. And then the lawyers were saying, okay, this is taking a really long time. I don't know why the hell you need an immigration lawyer to just come to an event. Okay, as a complete side topic. They're going to come here, they'll be creating jobs and employment by using these venues. It'll be good for Australians, and they are not that extreme. You listen to their talks, they're not that extreme. Neither of them are. But nonetheless, the lawyers said, go for an ETA visa just in case, so you can get the lay of the land. That was denied, and that they suggested they went for they go for a more extreme visa. So what's interesting, I noticed so many people were just piling on to where I shared my video and just making all these comments without actually watching the bloody video, which is interesting. So they've been granted their visas, and let's have a look. I got this on Twitter. Southern shared it from the organisers of Axiomatic. So regarding Australian visas for Lauren Southern and Stefan Molyneux, Lauren Southern and Stefan Molyneux were advised in writing this morning by their Australian immigration lawyers and migration agents. Actually, that's a good gig to get into, guys, if you want to make a bit of coin, although it's getting harder, that their applications for working visas subclass 408 have been formally approved. Yay! Fantastic. This has followed an unusually prolonged application process, due to which, as the dates of travel rapidly approached, the lawyers advised it would be advisable to apply to travel on an electronic travel authority. This was done with the understanding that no paid work would be undertaken in Australia until the expected approvals for the working visas were obtained. Because we can't have Commonwealth citizens that haven't committed any crimes dare into the country when they'll let anyone in who claim any status that, frankly, they're probably the gang members and losers of where they're coming from anyway. So neither Lauren or Southern attempted to travel without visas in hand. Such is their respect for immigration law that international and domestic flights were actually cancelled and rescheduled. This sharply contrasts with reports in recent news which some commentators have attempted to draw equivalence with. Although many armchair experts on social media have expressed their opinion that Lauren and Southern somehow did the wrong thing by following expert legal advice, it remains true that most reasonable people in the same situation would follow that advice. I think it's more so sad that we need lawyers to get just a temporary bloody visa. Seriously, I think the fact that we have to spend all that money, and all respect for lawyers, you've got it figured out, you've got the game, but damn. The suggestions that they did not, from the very beginning, apply for the correct visas is categorically false. Well, see, that's what people were saying on the comments. They weren't even looking into it. People never do. And have been emphatically silenced by this morning's final approval of the correct 408 visas originally applied for months ago. On behalf of Lauren and Stefan, Axiomatic Events would like to publicly thank all the Australians who contacted their local members of parliament to urge the government to ensure no politics be allowed to play a part in deciding their applications, despite the petitions and political pressures organised to deny them. So that is what scares me the most about the current political environment, is that the left are trying to use political pressure, threats of violence, petitioning, mob mentality to silence voices. That scares me more than anything. They just want to use that violence to silence people talking. That's terrifying, because once they snuff out all these voices, that's when God knows what they could do. Gulag's starting again. We additionally thank the Australian media for raising the issue of freedom of speech. We also appreciate the government processing the applications on their merits instead of personal politics, if belatedly. I really think this was delayed intentionally. Tickets for the speaking event around Australia are still available at Axiomatic Events. I bet you this will get them a lot of additional sales, so it may actually backfire. So this is a statement from Stefan Molyneux. So in anticipation of our upcoming Australian speaking tour, Lauren Southern and I would very much like to express our deepest gratitude to the Australian people, politicians and government for extending us the opportunity to visit your wonderful country. Obtaining a visa was, well, rather a challenging process, and it was hard at times to avoid the thought that our applications might have been delayed due to the perceived content of our speeches rather than any objective reason. Yeah, well, here is why we are so grateful. With near anonymity, Australians rose up to insist that we be allowed to come and make our case peacefully, entertainingly, engagingly, in particular, even those who had heard the most outlandish nonsense about Lauren and me, or strongly disagreed with our actual positions, admirably stood by their principles and insisted we be allowed in. We look forward to their feedback and criticisms too. This commitment to free speech is a great credit to a great nation. Yay! The truth is a tricky and slippery beast. It requires many hands to take hold of in any reliable manner. As you all know, freedom of speech is essential because no one has a monopoly on truth. Truth and virtue result from the ongoing free play of engaged and engaging conversations, from honesty and challenge and integrity. Lauren and I are very proud of our contributions to the global conversation, and we are both immensely eager to engage with the Australian public over these coming weeks. Thank you again, and we will see you soon. So, fantastic, great news. They went for a Class 4 visa. Now, let's have a look at the time frames that, a subclass 408. Let's look at the time frames again. 90% of applications between 36 and 78 days. So if they were doing religious work, are they doing religious work or research activity? No. Not sporting activity? No. I'd be saying there'd be entertainment activity, 24 days. Or special programs, 36 days. Apparently it took 10 weeks. So 70 days. So, nah. Shows you. Definitely is at the upper end of it. I don't know why religious work is that high. Maybe they need to make sure we don't get any of the fanatical hate preachers coming over for all religions. Now that would be interesting. So that's great. But what about our friends across the pond over in New Zealand? So Miss Southern shared this tweet. Intent to travel to New Zealand. My name is Lanissa Hunter, and I'm the Border Manager for Immigration Border Operations, IBO, at Auckland International Airport. I understand that you intend to travel New Zealand in July-August 2018 as part of your Australia tour in 2018. IBO has recently become aware that you've been banned from entering the United Kingdom as your presence is considered not conducive for public good. Wow, that's a badge of honour. Following distribution of offensive materials. Your ban in the United Kingdom now affects your ability to travel and enter the NZ. Under Section 15.1F of the Immigration Act 2009, no visa or entry permission may be granted and no visa waiver may apply to any person who has at any time been removed, excluded or deported from another country. Wow. They just, want to tie it up. Any person who is subject to Section 15 of the Immigration Act 2009 must seek and obtain a special direction under Section 17 of the Immigration Act prior to being allowed to travel to and enter New Zealand. I'm bringing this to your attention out of fairness to you and advise you to contact New Zealand, contact them on this, and you may still wish to travel to New Zealand. So that's nice, They're saying that'll be taken into consideration according to this. You can't travel here. But now they've just replied, further to my previous correspondence dated the 19th of June, IBO has recently confirmed that your ban from the United Kingdom does not affect your ability to travel or enter New Zealand. You may travel to New Zealand under the Visa Waiver Program for Canadian citizens. You are no longer required to obtain a special direction in the first instance. I apologise for any inconvenience my previous correspondence may have caused. So fantastic. Good work, Mrs. Hunter. Fantastic. So Lauren can go to NZ, and hopefully Stefan can as well. I'd be shocked if they wouldn't let the Americans in. So guys, I think this is a great update. It's great to see that the visas have been granted. It's interesting to see how long it took. You know, they're probably on par with religious work. You know, politics is now equivalent to religion in the eyes of our border protection forces. So guys, thank you all very much. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Heise Says. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all again next time. Bye for now.